Let's get straight into it. The world is full of men who complain about how hard life is, how unfair the system is, and how no one gives them a break. But here's the truth. No one's coming to save you, and no one cares about your excuses. The only men who earn respect are the ones who fight, not with cheap words, but real action. Strong men fight for their goals, for their families, for their discipline. Weak men blame, rationalize, and wait. So today we're going to break down exactly what separates the fighters from the quitters. 5 key traits that strong men embrace while weak men avoid. And if you're done with complaining, done with being stuck, and ready to fight for the life you know you're capable of, then it's time to step into my private coaching program. This is where weak habits die, discipline is built, and men like you level up fast. I don't care how far behind you feel. I care how serious you are about change. Hit the first link in the description to join. 1. Strong men take ownership. Weak men make excuses. This is the number one separator. Strong men own everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's all theirs. They don't point fingers. They don't play victim. When something goes wrong, they ask, what could I have done differently? Weak men, they immediately default to blame. It's always someone else's fault. Their boss, their ex, the economy, the government, the weather. Anything to avoid facing themselves. Ownership isn't comfortable. It forces you to confront your flaws, but it also gives you control. When you realize that your results are your responsibility, you stop waiting for permission and start creating progress. The strongest men I know aren't the ones who have perfect lives. They're the ones who have been through a lot and said, I'm not going to let this define me. That mindset builds power. That mindset leads to change. Because as long as you're blaming others, you're handing over your strength. Look around. The loudest complainers are always the least successful. That's not coincidence. If all your time is spent talking about how hard things are, when are you actually going to fix anything? Strong men don't need a pity party. They need a target, a challenge, a mission. So ask yourself, are you reacting or are you taking charge? That answer will define your future. Strong men build discipline. Weak men chase comfort. Here's the truth. If your life is built around doing what feels good, you're already losing. Comfort is a drug that turns men soft. Weak men chase it non-stop, sleeping in, scrolling endlessly, binge eating, skipping workouts, watching a bunch of sports. It feels nice in the moment, but it kills you over time. Strong men understand something different. They know that discipline is where your power comes from. They wake up early when they don't feel like it. They train when no one is watching. They work when they're tired, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Discipline doesn't mean being perfect. It means being consistent, even when your emotions don't want to cooperate. And that consistency compounds. Over time, it separates you from the crowd. It turns you from someone who talks about goals into someone who hits them. Weak men want fast results without long-term work. They want hacks, shortcuts, and easy wins, but nothing valuable is easy. And the sooner you stop expecting life to be convenient, the sooner you'll start seeing real progress. There's a reason men with discipline walk differently, speak differently, live differently. They've trained their mind to do what's hard, even when no one is clapping for them. That's where strength is forged, not in hype, but in habit. So stop waiting for motivation. Build routine, build grit, and that's how you become unshakable. Strong men embrace conflict. Weak men avoid it. Weak men fear confrontation. They'll avoid it at all costs, even if it means sacrificing their self-respect. They stay quiet when something needs to be said. They tolerate disrespect. They run from challenges because they don't want to make a scene. But strong men, they don't seek out conflict, but they don't run from it either. They know the real world involves standing your ground, whether it's in business, relationships, or your internal battles. You can't grow without friction. You can't win without resistance. Every man hits moments where he's tested. Will you speak up? Will you draw a line? Will you take action when it's uncomfortable? Weak men back down. Strong men step forward. And I'll tell you something else. If you've been avoiding conflict your whole life, it's not because you're peaceful. It's because you're afraid. You haven't developed the inner strength required to face it. That's not something that changes by accident. It changes by getting tested, by building competence. by becoming a man who knows he can handle himself when the heat is on. That's what we do inside my private coaching program. I help men build the mindset and skills to face life head on. No more flinching, no more hiding, no more excuses. If you had enough of feeling like you're not equipped for the fight, it's time to join. Click the first link in the description. Let's make you into a man who doesn't avoid challenges but dominates them. Strong men work in silence. Weak men seek validation. You know what separates serious men from boys? The strong ones aren't chasing attention. They're not posting every single move that they do on social media or begging people to notice how hard they're working. They're just doing the work quietly, consistently, and relentlessly. Maybe they'll post it here and there, but weak men, they need the applause. They need the likes, the compliments, the recognition. Otherwise, they don't feel like it counts. And then they end up being inconsistent. They work when no one is clapping. They show up even when no one's cheering. And when they finally break through, it's undeniable. No need to announce it. Their results speak loud enough. This kind of mindset breeds long-term success because you're not distracted. You're not swayed by opinions. You don't care what people think. You care what you think. That internal scorecard is everything. If you need someone to pat you on the back every time you make a small move, you'll never laugh. The process is too hard, too lonely, too long. Real men commit for the long haul. They trust themselves. They're too busy building instead of worrying about broadcasting. So get out of the validation trap. Kill the noise. Focus on the mission. That's what makes you unstoppable. Strong men lead themselves first. Weak men wait to be led. Leadership isn't a title, it's a mindset. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If you can't lead yourself, you've got no business leading anyone else. That includes your family, your team, or your friend. Weak men are always looking for someone to guide them, motivate them, give them the blueprint. They're forever waiting for the right time. Strong men, they take initiative. They don't wait just for clarity. They create it. They don't wait for confidence. They earn it through action. They know that before that they can lead others, they have to first master their own routines, habits, and decisions. You become a leader by setting the example, by being disciplined when others are lazy, by staying calm when others panic, by doing the hard things without needing the recognition for it. And here's the kicker. When you lead yourself well, people naturally follow because you've proven that you can carry the weight, not just your own, but theirs too. Weak men are swept up by circumstances. Strong men shape them, and they move with direction. So stop waiting, step up, start building the man others can rely on, not someday, but now. You've got two options right now. You can go back to comfort and excuses and passive living, or you can make the decision to fight for discipline, for purpose, and for the man that you're meant to become. Because the difference is crystal clear. Strong men fight, weak men complain, and you already know which one you're tired of being. So if you're ready to stop watching and start building, join my private coaching program. This is where men get sharpened, where comfort dies, and where a new standard gets built, one decision, one habit, and one day at a time. Click the first link in the description and let's go to war with mediocrity.